we look at Darlene Pentia, chairperson for the Zuni Royalty Organization, and along with me are my committee members. And what we wanted to do today was do a Q&A for potential candidates for our upcoming pageant. So look at on list on how you on Kela Kwason na isha mas da ya sa na gano na uso na on list na and then is not gonna one royalty and then last one asa shina is not gonna and so let's not format again. So we'll go ahead and start with the first question. Now when Miss Zuni Kylie Gio so na questions ya yasin.
Okay, so the first question is, what is a royalty title and why is it important?
Tiana Kankali, the Zuni Royalty Organization Secretary Treasurer. I will be going back and forth with our chairperson today answering the questions. So to answer that first question, what is a Zuni Royalty title? A Zuni Royalty title basically is a platform for our young Zuni women and then also our young men to provide a space for them to embrace their culture, to learn their traditions, and provide the space for them to be a leader of our community, to be a role model in our community for those who may be the same age as them, younger than them, and even older than them. So all of our titles are embracing that traditional Zuni role, whether it's the female side or the male side. So we do encourage cultural preservation and also just taking care of our culture and our history. Why is it important that we have these titles? It is important because our young men and women in the community oftentimes have little to no opportunity to be in a space like this, to be able to advocate for causes that are close to them, to be able to share their personal experience and also just bring awareness to causes and to also promote the Zuni culture and religion throughout, whether it's New Mexico, we've had title holders travel to Arizona, Colorado, so different places like that. Being able to represent our community is important to getting our name out there, not only for the Zuni community but also for our organization.
In short, the person they're ambassador to the Pueblo of Zuni, and yam in short, that's kind of how we look at it.
What if I don't speak fluent Zuni?
And I know that previous judges have commented a lot on that. Teni isoto timda ko ele peye na so on requirement ashna make don't what we're requiring though is that our royalty Shui ma they need to introduce themselves in Shui and Milikam, and that's all that we're requiring. And myself Hamet, they take it upon themselves to the prayer house. Also not lesson now if they have so it's not a requirement, but the more Zuni you speak the better. Then as it's now when senior citizens,
How much is the scholarship and how long do I have to use the scholarship?
So each year the scholarship is given to the Miss Zuni of $1,000. What that can cover is anything related to school, trade school, certificates, anything that you need to pay for in terms of furthering yourself professionally, educationally. It is $1,000. How long do you have to use it? You have 1 year after your title reign is over to use that scholarship. So you can use it either during your reign or 1 year after.
Okay, along with that question is, can I go to college as Miss Zuni?
So while the Miss Zuni title is, a big part of our community, going to college during your title, during your reign, we do encourage online, just because of the fulfilling the capacity of the title itself and the needs and responsibilities that come with being a title holder, especially in the Miss Zuni position. A lot of those requirements require being here at home.
Is there any rules for tattoos, piercings, or hair color?
Usona Emma can Abe and those what we decided on as a committee is Usona Honawan Ipanaye, no visible tattoos and all of that. So unfortunately, Usona Honawan Ka'ala Wadiname.
And to further Cheryl Sandy Lechina, committee member of Alashivichi with them, Don Awan Chatne, and to further implement on that tattoos and all that Usona Kako Awan Asa Shina Abe Koa Usona Chua Diki Don Uson Awan Hai Don Deaka, then Chua what people would call everyday individuals Usona Hoen Awan Behon De Ame.
Do I get a background check? And do I need a background check?
No, background check is not required for candidacy. The only two tests that we do require prior to confirming your candidacy is a drug test and a pregnancy test. And those are only for our junior Miss Zuni candidates and our Miss Zuni candidates.
And then there's a letter of reference that we require when potential candidate, they choose individuals that will write a letter of reference. We have a form for that.
If I'm over 18, do I still need parent permission?
If you are over 18, yes, you do still need parent permission. I know legally you are an adult. However, due to the requirements of the Zuni Royalty Organization and just their role in general, this is strictly speaking to potential Miss Zuni candidates, being that the age range is 18 to 25, we do require parent or guardian, permission to sign along with your contract and also your application, just so that we know that you have that support, whether it's from, a family member, a parent. It comes a long way when it comes to fulfilling that Miss Zuni role. And then that also just goes along with needing a chaperone, and we'll get to that later.
Do I need to have my own traditional clothing?
Yes. In order to represent, your Zuni community and Zuni people, we require our royalty to wear their traditional outfits, unless if there's a special occasion like maybe a run, a walk, where we require just the crown and the sash. But the ayuchi and that's why we require it.
And if you're having issues with obtaining traditional clothing, don't let that hinder you from, running. We as a committee are always open to, helping, whether it's if you need traditional clothing, if you don't have your own, or should you, borrow something for the pageant and then become a title holder and not have your own clothing. A lot of the times an outfit is donated for the incoming title holder.
Do I need my own transportation to events?
Preferably, yes. Only reason is that a lot of the times these events are, around the community or, outside of the community that require you to travel to and from. A lot of the times the committee is willing to, step in and help, but there are definitely times where, our outside obligations come into play and we're not able to fulfill that commitment for, certain events. So having your own transportation really is a big requirement for the family, whether it's your own, whether it's your uncles, your hotas, your nanas, as long as you have a form of transportation.
How is fundraising done at ZRO?
We really strongly encourage fundraising because crowns, sashes, crown boxes, all of those. Also, title holder on your Hamed tribes, Yamdong crown passed down again now, but we on Shuin and now one title holder gets to keep the crown. So in Mahewe, we have our local artists, that make the crowns, and we want to pay them accordingly, and so the way that we encourage is that each of the title holders will spearhead a fundraising event, as well as us as a committee. So don't so up to now. This and but Emma here look and on ambition my now so now on fundraising Emma take and so on young it would surely be appreciated.
Here is the big question that everybody is wondering. Why is there no Mr. Zuni?
Before let's not also like 8 hours shoot on encourage and yamante quachua you anikto kena ma aki short now is containing kea aki hot now prince hot now ana isos you anikto pa em on a candidates ihua be ata isos ta ponga tom topin te ta cha kui hosta isko ishteni kea ko le aki hot now answer what tachi kwa you anikto wamme tachi usona our Bogart the Bolo yok now we listen to your honor.
What if I don't know how to dress my child or myself?
So there are definitely resources within the community that can help you with that. For one, the committee is here to help. Having gone through, some of us have gone through this ourselves. Others, have been on the committee long enough that we know how to dress, girls and boys traditionally now. So if that is the reason why maybe you yourself aren't running or you don't want your child to run, reach out to us. We're always here to, help. Just a little personal plug. I did run traditional clothing presentations for all of the public schools here in Zuni. So I have videos readily available to send to folks who need help with step-by-step in how to dress traditionally.
And then we offer it during our in-service too. So you connect up on in-service lesson de busana honda yanikina.
Where do I get / submit an application?
So applications are available online. For one, online. Two, we have paper applications. So if you are wanting to submit an application online, what we do is you can check out our social media pages on Facebook. You're on our live right now, so you know where to find our Facebook. We're also on Instagram at Zuni Royalty Organization. Through those different platforms, we have links available on our page. They should be the top pinned post on both of our pages, so that you're able to just click the link for whichever title you are wanting to submit an application for. So that's how you get an application online and submit online. For paper applications, you can reach out to any one of our committee members, as well as our current title holders and their parents. Or you can message our Zuni Royalty social media pages and say, hey, I want an application, how do I get one? And we will figure out and coordinate how to get you a paper application. Same thing with turning it in. Let us know, hey, I'm ready to turn in my application, and then we'll go ahead and send somebody to pick it up or find somewhere to meet to get that turned in.
The deadline date is Friday, August the 8th at 5:30 p.m. And usually on travel building and then depot, I guess. So if you're kind of waiting for the last minute, you can bring it by there.
What documents are required to run?
A completed candidate application, a copy of your census card and birth certificate, 2 letters of recommendation, and this is for the Miss Zuni and the Junior Miss candidates, and it can be from teachers, coaches, counselors, employers, you know, etc. And a 100 to 250 word essay that includes an explanation of why you are running and your personal and or educational goals. And look at on our judge, not now when judges look at judge again now, so you know, you can win a cash prize for that. And then as far as the other things for the Miss Zuni and the Junior Miss, we require you to have a drug test and a pregnancy test.
And then for the Prince and Princess, it's the same thing. So a completed application, a copy of your census and birth certificate, and then also the essay.
One question here is, how do you select who makes the crowns?
So typically in the past, what we have done was release bids for our crowns, sashes, crown boxes, bolo, bogart, etc. We'll release a bid on social media asking for those who are interested to contact us with an artist name, bio, phone number, a rough sketch of what your piece would look like, and then what piece you're submitting for. However, in the past few years, it has become increasingly difficult for the committee in that we do post the bids and then we receive none. And then in the end, what it turns into is that we ourselves as the committee members have to go out and seek these artists and seek these people to make our items ourselves. And so to make it easier on us, we've switched to going directly to the artists now. Asking individuals whether they are interested, and if they are, you know, having them still fill out that same bid submission form in a sense. And you know, if you are interested, please contact us. We are open to any Zuni artists. Just a quick advertising moment. We are looking for sash makers. That is our last items that we have to fulfill for our new upcoming 2025 pageant. We still do not have sash makers at the moment, and we've reached out to a few. Lots who are very busy, understandably so, given that, you know, we're coming up close to our religious time, and so but if there is any available artists to do our sashes, we still are currently accepting, I guess in a sense, bids. So if you are interested, please reach out to the organization. But yeah, that's how we select. You know, usually it comes down to who is willing to do it, who has the time and capability. But we are always looking for new artists. It's always open to any Zuni artist, and we do pay you. That's another big misconception, is that if the piece is donated. No, we do pay you for your work. So please spread the word. We need artists for, you know, this pageant and then future pageants in the future.
Are you allowed to wear makeup?
Yes. You know, I know that's like a big thing with, you know, our elders in our community is like asking why you're wearing so much makeup. But you know, whatever makes you feel confident, whatever makes you feel good in the moment, you know, that is what we want our title holders to feel, because the more confident you are in the role, the better able you are to represent.
Can the candidates also participate in fundraisers for the crowns and gifts?
Of course. Yeah, we always encourage that. Usually though, by the time we do have candidates, our fundraising time is unfortunately come to an end, but we do always encourage that. And what happens usually is that what the fair committee does is that they'll do their own raffle for the fair, and our candidates and current title holders and our committee members will help fundraise by selling those raffle tickets too. And at the end of the raffle, we get a portion of those proceeds from that raffle. So we do allow you know, prospective candidates to help with fundraising.
Well, you all can come and help us for our Zumba this coming Sunday from 1 to 3.
Yes, at the Wellness Center, Zumba with Andres.
Have you asked former Miss Zuni and junior Miss Zuni individuals for donations?
Yes, we have in the past. What it comes down to is that sometimes a lot of them who are willing to donate are out of town. And so we have no form of online payment or way to accept online donations, which, you know, has been an issue with like not just asking for donations, but fundraisers and, you know, paying for things. So we are in the works of making sure that we have, you know, those means available, hopefully within the next year. But at the moment, we don't have a way to receive those donations. But if title holders, alumni, former title holders are able to, you know, donate and help with whatever it may be, whether it's a fundraiser, food sale, Zumba, we're always appreciative of any help that comes our way. Whether it's donating food items, even cases of water help us, you know, get through different fundraisers. So yeah, we're always appreciative and thankful when alumni are able to help us by donating items.
Just as an information, we do not get any funding anywhere, so we have to rely on fundraising. And so to that end, what we have decided as a committee is to apply as a nonprofit. So we are halfway there. We got incorporated with the state of New Mexico, the Secretary of State. And then so now we can open a checking account and hopefully, you know, take credit card payments and all that very soon. So once we do that, then we'll be sending out letters. We have sent out letters to previous alumni, and then some alumni, they're pretty good, you know, during the parades or whatever they donate, you know, their you know, maybe an attire, or they give us money and things like that. So you know, they're very good, and we know who those are. So stay tuned for that.
Why can't they have tattoos?
The way that, you know, we kind of got an interpretation was that the Macaco, you know, like this is, you know, we always go back to our traditional ways and all of that. And what we were told was that, you know, as a female, so, you know, okay, in Shui na, so yam do body do each on but the class, you know, I guess don't got, you know, but the cause other ship, you know, like like and them this one like that, you know, see tattoos down make it like up there, you know. I guess the other thing that, you know, people said is that now when I will tattoo, I think I get killed. I guess in a way, you know, as a committee, based on what was presented to us, so we made a decision and that because it's something is visible out there, you know, that's why we're saying visible tattoo, but hong got to like tattoo in a hong got hey queen like or the uchun like got cover I think you know that's, you know, we can look at that.
Yeah, and we've looked at other title holders and how they run their pageant system and how they've been able to deal with this issue, because it's not only something that comes up on our end, but in across all of, you know, native country and native pageants. So we've looked at different ways that other pageants deal with it, and a big one is just like on a case-by-case basis in evaluating, you know, how big is the tattoo, where is the placement, and then like she said, you know, is it able to be easily covered, you know, while you are in the traditional attire. Those are our biggest ones. So yeah.
Does the essay have to be typed out, or is handwritten essay acceptable?
So type is preferred, but if you prefer to handwrite your essay, all that we ask is that you keep it legible, because it does go through the judging process by our panel of judges. So if they're unable to read your essay, you may score lower on that. So if you are handwriting, just make sure to make it legible.
Before we close, I just wanted to share some information. The Zuni Fair will be September 11th through the 14th, and our coronation will be on September the 13th. That's going to be on a Saturday. But on August the 30th, that's also a Saturday, we will be having our pageant there, and it'll be at the new Zuni Fair building. So that's kind of some of the the information.
Yeah. And you know, typically we have our talent demonstrations a week before our pageant. However, this year we had to move it 2 weeks before in order for our current title holders to attend the State Fair Parade. So keeping that tradition and letting them participate in the State Fair Parade, our pageant will be August 30th at 10 a.m. at the Zuni Fair building. Stay on. We're going to have our title holders answer questions while we move out of the way.
Because don't say nothing up here. What kind of gear election and look at the Bitcoin and what Mizuni.
She got the like it again now. Okay, the night selection. Look at the Bitcoin on the Bitcoin on how to new mystery.
Kashe kota lagina hot Trevor Shacklet look at the big hockey hot Zuni Prince.
Keshi Koton Lagedigenawe Hot City Pekatiwa let you know look at the Bitcoin and Hot Zuni Princess. Alright. Our first question for title holders. When is the deadline for applications? The deadline for the applications is August 8th. Alright, a question for our Miss Zuni. Can you work as Miss Zuni? Have a job? For me personally, I went back and forth about that. It would be pretty hard to maintain both. That's the same that goes with college. I understand that like you want to go get an education and get a job, but for me it was hard to try to figure out how to do both. So honestly, it's your preference on what you want to do. It can and may cause a lot of stress, trying to go from events. And also, as Tiana said, that most of our events are held in Zuni, so I think that it would be pretty hard to maintain both. But yeah, if you're very determined, I think you can do it with the support of ZRO. Right, question for Caitlin. Why do I need a chaperone at all times?
It's basically just for your own safety, to make sure you're safe in your surroundings, because many times we're distracted by people asking us questions, asking to take pictures, and asking what we do as title holders. So it's mainly for your protection and your safety.
How old does a chaperone have to be?
Your chaperone has to be 21 years old or above.
Right, Kylie, what is a platform? And how many events do you have to do? Okay, so a platform is the organization strongly feels that if crowned, you as an individual make your reign what you want it to be. To be meaningful and memorable, the organization is requiring you to identify a platform that is dear to you. In the community, we have many issues which we feel we want to change and or improve or bring awareness to. This will be your platform. During your reign, you will be required to perform at a minimum of 2 functions on how to address your platform. For example, you want to help the elderly. Functions could include 1, visit the visitor center and speak with the senior citizens on identifying their needs and concerns, and 2, coordinate with the senior citizens to sponsor storytelling sessions for community. So just to clarify, a platform is just a cause that the title holder, and this is only a requirement for our Miss and Junior Miss, but it is a cause that they want to promote throughout their reign. For example, Kylie, what's your platform? Encouraging cultural appreciation through engaging activities. And Caitlin, what's yours?
Mental health and suicide prevention, since we have a lot of those issues around the community.
All right. Trevor, when you get crowned, what are the cool things you get to do? What are the perks? You don't get a crown, but when you get sashed, I guess.
The cool things are that you get to go to places or camping or anywhere, like out Zuni or anywhere.
All right, Sydney.
The cool things is that you meet a lot of new people and you get to go out everywhere to different types of events, and it's just you having a fun time and you getting more along with your royalty siblings.
Any other things to add?
Yeah, it's just going represent your community, meeting other communities and how they are and what they're like. So it's pretty cool and pretty fun. I've learned a lot from going different places. And I've learned, and I've met new people, and yeah, it's worth it. It's definitely worth it.
Just to add on to what Kylie said, it's really about going to different communities and learning their culture and language is very, very nice because you get to see what other cultures are like and not only just learn from yours but learn from others too.
How long do you hold the title?
1 year.
1 year. Can you run again if you already ran for a Zuni royalty title?
Yes, you can run again. There was previous royalty holders that ran for Zuni Princess and they ran for Junior Miss and Miss Zuni. So yes, you can run for other Zuni titles.
Yeah, and that goes for the same title. If you want to run for the same title, by all means, we always encourage it.
Hello, class.
Kasi kada sa nakanap ka, tudati wala siya na ho, Miss Zuni Antita.
Hi, my name is Bernadette. I am the parent of Caitlin Nadachu with Junior Miss Zuni.
And I am the mother of the Zuni Prince.
Hello everyone, my name is Kendra Pekatiwa and I'm the mother of Sydney Pekatiwa, Zuni Princess.
Does my child have to miss a lot of school?
No?
No.
It's really up to your discretion, whether, but for me, Trevor, with the title, with him having the title of representing the Zuni people, we rather have him represent and attend as many events as much as he could, and also to gain that experience and with representing the community.
Yeah, but then some of the teachers do understand what the title holder does, and they are willing to get their homework into them and have them turn it in at a later time.
And then most of the events are in the evening or otherwise weekends, so it doesn't really interfere much with school, but sometimes.
How do I support my child wanting to run?
I would, full on support your child, even though, I do have a lot of obligations right now, and with Trevor being asked to run for Prince, with him saying he wanted to run, I myself was like, let's put it on hold, but if your child does want to run, you have to be very supportive to show that you are there, also to support them in the decisions that they make. And I'm really proud that I did because he's built a lot of confidence. He's very outgoing now. So if your child wants to run, full on support your child's decision.
I think that if the child wants to run for a title, then as a parent we have to do what we can to achieve that goal, because they're not going to be able to do this all by themselves. It's just like any sport. If they wanted to play a sport, you support them, and this is just the same. Only thing is that it's a whole year obligation. It does have its positives where they do build that confidence, they build the friendships, they do what they can to do what they can for recognition for their community. So if they want to do it, I don't see why it would be hard for not to support your kid's decision not to run.
For Caitlin, she had 2 reigns, one right after the other. She told me she wanted to do the first one. I did not hold her back. I told her, if this is what you want, I'll support you. And even with this reign she has now, I fully supported her, and it's just been an enjoyable ride. And I'm very proud that she took the opportunity to put herself more out there within this reign than she did her last one.
Kind of going along with that, should, you know, the child be chosen as a title holder, what are parent/guardian obligations? What do those look like?
Basically being there for them, 100% supportive. It takes a lot of time away from work, but if you truly support them, you will balance it out. Balance is the key because we all are working parents, and it's really not that big of a deal to get off work, but you know, if you have an understanding boss, they'll understand, but just being supportive.
I think for us is just being prepared for a certain event. Like for Sydney, like if we're attending something that's a little bit more sensitive, like child abuse prevention or mental health awareness, something like that, I have to really prepare her, especially her state of mind, like tell her like what she's probably gonna hear and just kind of educate her before the events, telling her, you know, they're gonna talk about this, how do you feel about it, and also explain to her why she's there. And it's just kind of to broaden her mind as far as understanding what her community goes through and what kind of services they offer. She didn't know that they offer other services, like the resources that are available for the community. You know, those are things that she's aware, and then she can also pass down to her peers. Like she could tell them, like, I found out that ZRO has this, and she can tell them about that. And especially if she has a lot of friends that, you know, open up to her about their own personal experiences. So I think that's something really good that she does attend those. But also for my point of view is I have to prepare her and just kind of educate her before we attend an event.
And I will also strongly agree with Kendra, because that's what I've learned. I've learned to, you know, prepare Trevor, again, for the young ones, you know, what the purpose is of the event. I learned after one event, I didn't prepare him, and we had to leave an event because it did really get to Trevor. So, and it is, you know, with the royalty, we do grow as a family. So sometimes, you know, if I need help or guidance for a younger, like how I would explain things to Trevor, I would usually go to Kendra, like, I need to explain this to Trevor or about an event, and she's really supportive of, you know, and also with her, if I need anything else, we would contact each other for that.
There are just kind of like what the Zuni Royalty Organization talked about was that it, you know, incoming royalty should have funds in their account for them to do what we did, which was attend the powwow in Albuquerque. I know that cost the royalty a pretty penny for all of them to be out there for that many days. So like that funds was kind of given to us because the previous royalty had fundraised enough for the kids to use this year. And I think for our thing now is that we as the new royalty, the current royalty, need to start building up that funding for the next title holders. So fundraising is something that we all have to pitch in for. You know, just last weekend, Caitlin's family did the bingo, and then the ZRO decided to do the food sale. We all did what we could to pitch in when we could. And not only that, the ZRO organization, they're really good about helping. Tiana was there all day, morning and night, and even her significant other, you know, he's there being running around doing what we need, helping out. And so it's just that obligation is also there, that we have to help fundraise.
Is it worth it to you to let your child run?
Definitely.
Yes, definitely.
This is once in a lifetime opportunity if you choose to. There are a lot of positives. I know there's negative out there of wearing the crown, but actually it's pretty good. You know, you go to learn different things. You learn about different cultures. You learn about your own culture. You go meet people, new people, and just all the compliments that you get. Knowing where you come from and explaining to people why you wear the crown. You know, all those are a lot of positives. You know, there's no need for negatives. So it's pretty good. We've had a fun-filled year. We're only getting busy when we're getting to the end, but we like it.
And Judith, not only did they learn so much about other cultures, is that they learned a lot about themselves and who they are, and the representation that they have within their Zuni community. They took it out to other places, and it was just a good overall good experience for them.
And on to that, you become family. As royalty, you become a family, and so this is my second time being a parent of a royalty. And even though, for example, for Jamal being the prince, becoming family, we still communicate with the past, who he was with during his reign. And then from now, you know, you can see that bond that they have. They create a bond, and us as parents too, we create a bond all together. So you gain another family. So and you also get to experience the fun places you get to go, and also seeing your child's face, you know, when they're at an event, or also if you don't have, if you're unable to attend an event with your child, that's where the royalty family, the parents do come in. They're willing to also be a chaperone for your child if you're not able to attend a certain event. So that's what's really good about it. Also with the members, any of the members are also willing to chaperone if you're unable to attend a certain event with your child.
For us, I know, like, we're a pretty pageant family, but I know it's helped my girls because they're very well spoken in public. When they do like public speaking, they're very well spoken. For me, I'm nervous. Like right now, I'm nervous right now. So I know for them, it helps them build that confidence. So any kind of experience to help them gain in the future that they can use in the future, like as far as them, you know, sitting in a crowded room speaking their mind, you know, it just gives them that boost that, you know, they can do it. They know that they can do it. They know that they're a representative before, and they know that they're able to stand up for and speak in a crowded room. And just for them to have the experience as far as going into like a job interview, you know, they'll know like they know like what, you know, is out there for them.
That, as a parent, did you proofread your child's essay/application?
No.
I know I did for Sydney, because Sydney can be Sydney.
I also did.
Yeah, because Sydney, you know, I tease her because she, you know, she's got the principal award at Zuni Middle School and all that, and she'll write that as TAT. I'll be like, you need to fix that. So like, yeah, proofreading, just small things. I didn't tell her to change her whole essay or anything, just like small, basic word spelling. Yeah, that's all I did was help them.
As old as Kylie is, I do help her. Because sometimes her words are not in the correct place, so I do have to proofread her writings.
And just to bounce off of that too, for the Prince and Princess applications, there is parent questions directed to parents about their child. So there's no way you can do a Prince or Princess application without having your parent proofread. All right, thank you, parents.
Thank you. All right, thank you all for tuning into our live. We truly appreciate it. All the questions that were answered, hopefully we gave adequate answers and we're able to fully, explain how we do things on our end. If you do have any more questions, feel free to comment down below on this post. We'll be active in responding to questions there too. Or feel free to message us. If you missed the beginning questions, once we're done with the live and it uploads, you can go back and reference questions that were asked in the beginning from the committee and then also our title holders and then our parents. So thank you again for tuning into our live. We really appreciate it. We will upload this video to YouTube as well. So.